everybody, welcome back to my health and wellness channel. So today is a special recipe. So I'm sharing this is my Graham's homemade spaghetti sauce and meatballs. Okay, I've made this recipe for many years. I watched her in the kitchen growing up making these meatballs and this sauce. So here we go. All right, so what we're gonna do first is we're gonna make the meatballs, okay? So what I did, I already preheated my oven to 400 degrees. So I'm gonna bake them in the oven instead of frying them on the skillet. That's because that's a little bit healthier that way. And then I got my ingredients over here for the meatballs. So what I'm gonna do is you wanna get about a pound of lean ground beef. And these are all the ingredients that I'm gonna be putting in. So we have some breadcrumbs, Parmesan cheese, basil, Italian seasoning, some garlic powder, some onion powder, some oregano leaves, and some parsley flakes, and an egg, okay? So that's all gonna go into this bowl right here, okay? So first things first, I'm gonna go ahead and add my beef. You wanna get a lean, pretty lean beef. I'm gonna add about a cup of breadcrumbs. I'm gonna add my egg and some parsley flakes. I'm just gonna use the rest of those. I'm gonna add some oregano. And guys, I don't really measure. I would say about a teaspoon to 2 teaspoons of each dry ingredient is a pretty good estimate. Onion powder, a little bit of garlic powder, some Italian seasoning, a little bit of basil, and some Parmesan cheese. Probably about, I would say, about 1/4 cup of Parmesan cheese. Okay, so as you can see over here, as I was mixing this up, I did have a pot on the stove. So I'm making brown rice spaghetti. So this is a little bit healthier version than like your regular whole wheat pasta, okay? So it's gluten-free. It only takes 8 to 9 minutes to cook. It's sodium-free, wheat-free, gluten-free, so if you have allergies, it's great, and it really does taste just like spaghetti, okay? I'm gonna go ahead and pop that in while we're mixing up the meatballs. Just gonna throw that in and grab. Just gonna kind of put that in there. Set my timer for about 8 minutes. Okay. All right, so we're gonna mix these meatballs up. They smell great already. They're not even cooked yet. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I have a cookie sheet right here, and I'm gonna go ahead and spray that with some olive oil spray so the meatballs do not stick while they're cooking. Okay, so there you go. So I'm gonna just use about, I'll just show you one, just so you can see how big I'm making them. I'm just gonna kind of roll them. About that big, okay? That's how big you want them. I'm just going to arrange them on the cookie sheet. All right. Okay, so I'm almost finished making these meatballs. About a pound of meat makes about 16 meatballs. So they're mainly the same size. Some are a little smaller than the others. Doesn't really matter as long as you get about 16 out of your pound of meat. So There we go. So let me wash my hands again real quick. So I'm gonna put these in the oven at 400 degrees, and I'm gonna bake them for 15 minutes on one side, and I'll take them out, and then I'm gonna flip them and cook them for another 15 minutes. So put these in. Okay, so while those are cooking, we're gonna go ahead and do our tomato sauce. So I got a little skillet here. I'm gonna put it on medium heat. And I'm literally gonna use almost all the dry ingredients that I use for the meatballs in the tomato sauce. So, my store didn't have a big jar of tomato sauce, so I'm just using 5 small cans of tomato sauce. You wanna use about, I would say about 24 to 36 ounces of tomato sauce. So that would be equivalent to 1 big jar at the store. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and add all my tomato sauce to the skillet here. Okay. Then I'm gonna add a little bit of olive oil, just a little bit. Maybe like 1/4 cup of olive oil in there. Okay. Black pepper. You can add as much or as little as you like. Like I said, all the dry ingredients, guys, that I'm using, I use about 1 teaspoon to 2 teaspoons. So that was garlic powder, some onion powder, some Italian seasoning. And this is how my gram cooked. She didn't measure. She just added it in, and I literally watched her make this like 1,000,000 times growing up, so. That was basil. And finally, just a little bit of Parmesan cheese. I'm gonna go ahead and stir this up. And all I'm gonna do, guys, is let this kind of simmer on medium heat for about 20 minutes. Reset my timer for another 10 minutes for the meatballs. Okay, so let that simmer, and then I'm going to go ahead and take off my spaghetti and drain it, and that'll be ready to go. Okay guys, so it's been 15 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and flip my meatballs. As you can see, and pull these out. So I'm just gonna take let's just flip them, kind of flip them over. And as you can see, they're not sticking because I used the non-stick spray. They smell amazing. I wish we had smell-o-vision sometimes. All right, so there we go. So I'm going to cook them for another 15 minutes. And as you can see, my pasta is finished, so I just stuck that in a bowl. And then my sauce will be ready once the meatballs are ready in about 15 minutes. All right, guys, so the meatballs are done. I had to turn off the oven and show you what they look like. Alright, so there is what they look like when they're out of the oven. Okay, and my sauce is finished. So there's the finished product on that. So what I'm going to do is just add my meatballs to the sauce, and it'll be ready to go. So super easy, super quick, a nice Sunday meal that you can make for the whole family. So hope you guys have a great week, and I will see you next time.